that up
Okay.
a little bit, but don't. Oh, hello. We're back. We're ThinkTech Talks here on a given Monday in the afternoon at a 4 to 5 block. We're talking about community. Community matters because community does matter. And we're talking about the new science in aquaponics today. Okay, with two people who are, directly involved in it. One, Liz Xu, that's XU, of course.
Yes.
Xu, from the Department of Agriculture, and she deals with aquaponics in the Department of Agriculture. And the other is Kai Fox, who used to be with Sitar, am I right? But who has migrated over at fairly recent times to, guess what? What is it, a manager?
Farm manager.
Farm manager of Mari's Gardens. What a great move for them. I would have given you a letter, Kai.
Thanks.
So the first thing is tell me a little more about yourself, because that's too thin an introduction.
All right, okay. My title is the Economic Development Specialist of Aquaculture and Livestock Support Services of Hawaii Department of Agriculture. My role and my boss's role, we both support local farms to give them fair chance to succeed. We don't want to see any farm fail. So we provide a wide range of supporting services, including sharing information, marketing help, consultation help, connecting them with experts or with investors.
You're a fantastic asset, Liz.
Thank you.
And I know it's the vitamin pills, and I want to go offline one of these days and get exactly what kind of vitamin pills you take.
I also have pretty healthy diet, what I
Aquaponics.
I don't eat dessert really, so that's
Okay,
all
well,
the
the secret
yeah.
is don't eat dessert, I guess.
And walk every day for 40 minutes at least.
Yeah, okay. Well, the thing about it is when I talk to you, whenever I talk to you, I get the feeling that, you're going to make this happen. You're going to muscle it right through. You're not going to stop till it happens. And when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it.
Yes.
Nobody's going to stop you. You're like a locomotive, yeah.
Thank you. I hope I don't appear too aggressive for some people. I just want to help our farmers and help Hawaii.
Okay, well, we're going to build the sector. We're going to make the sector happen.
Yes.
And in the way of, sort of prologue, I visited Fred Lau, and his son Brandon was there back about 2-3 years ago, I guess, and I made a movie, and it was really interesting for me to see what they had done out there. I know it's different now when I go out and make another movie out there, and sort of before and after, But it really opened my eyes about aquaponics here, and it showed me that we had a legitimate industry that was capable of, amazing things even back then. So tell us more about your move, your background, what you bring to Mari's Gardens.
Okay, well, like you said, I used to work for Sitar up until about a month ago. I was an assistant extension specialist.
This is hot news.
Primarily, I was dealing with aquaculture and aquaponics aspects of extension and outreach and research. And an opportunity came along to join Mari's Garden, and yeah, it's been a great move for me. So I wouldn't exactly call myself the farm manager, but I was hired as an aquaculturist. So my primary job at Mari's Garden is to deal with the fish health, dealing with different species of fish, spawning them on site, making sure production is, optimized, that kind of stuff. So, working in Mari's Gardens is really exciting.
Just, it comes to mind that when I made that original trip to meet Fred and all, I said to him, we were standing over this stainless tank of tilapia, and I said, do you personally eat the tilapia, Fred? And he said, well, I have a little trouble with that. They're like my friends, like my children. It's hard for me, I care so much about them, doing it right with them, I have trouble eating. And this reminded me of another movie we made of Big Island abalone. And there's a South African woman,
Yes.
aquaculture, you must
Cecilia.
know, in South Africa is a big deal. And she's got degrees. Actually, it is not an advanced degree because in South Africa, everybody takes it. It's like an occupational thing.
Wow.
and she's very good. I can't remember her name, but she
Cecilia.
runs the abalone. You know her?
Yes, we have met her a couple of times.
Yeah,
Cecilia.
she's amazing.
Yeah.
So she runs the farm, and I said, you know,
Yes.
you have thousands of abalone, and you know the farm. It's very linear. You put them here, then you move them there, then you move them there, and you know, and they grow, and finally
Yeah, they have
they
an
go to
amazing
market.
operation. Yes.
Yeah, it's really it's a good operation.
And they just have a new store opened up in Allan Shopping Center.
Oh, really? Big
Yeah,
Allan
in the middle
Everson?
of February. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's new.
Well, you know what they used to do? They used to have people come onto the farm and buy abalone on a regular basis.
Yeah, they still have customers
yeah.
at the farm. They also sell at KCC Farmers Market. Then
Yeah.
recently, with the new store open, they hope to get more
Good
business.
for them.
Yeah.
It's really important that they connect locally, you know.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, for a lot of reasons, we can talk about them later. But anyway, what about you, Kai? I mean, so there's the tilapia, and how do you feel about, you know, eating the tilapia?
I really enjoy eating the tilapia. I have no problem eating tilapia. It's a really good fish. You know, there's a stigma locally against tilapia because they live in a lot of our waterways. But you know, that's changing. Basically, you are what you eat. You know, so we feed them high quality fish food and keep them in clean water, and it tastes great. I love them.
But even Alan Wong, and I want to get to this, at the program we all did,
Hawaii
that
Aquaponics
you did was a
conference,
Saturday week ago, which
Yeah.
I made a movie of, which is playing this week now on OZ16, and ultimately we'll put it on YouTube for
Great.
people to look at. But even he said, you know, I forget how he put it. It was a sort of a delicate way to put it. He said, you know, the tilapia on the plate, it's not the most handsome fish in the world. What did he mean by that?
It's pretty good looking fish to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're committed. You're not impartial on that.
Comparing to carp, I think tilapia is pretty looking.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I talked to somebody recently, you know, between then and now, and I told him, you know, we had, you know, I went and made a movie and all that, and
Thank you for coming down that day. I really appreciate it.
oh, I really
yeah.
loved it. Yeah. And he said, tilapia, junk fish, you know, in the canal. Oh, you know. And I said, wow, when they talk about stigma, there are local people in these islands who really see it as a big stigma, and it's going to take a lot to get them off that. But you know, you guys had this fabulous
Team.
gourmet repast
Yes, yeah.
last week. It was excellent. Not only
Yes.
one preparation, but all four of
Yeah,
Alan
4
Wong's
kinds,
preparations
yeah.
were really, really good. And when Richard Fassler was there, and I got some
Right.
great sound from him, he said, you know, the thing about tilapia is it doesn't taste like a fish. And the best fish are the fish that don't taste like fish.
Yeah, he was the former economic development specialist. He was in my position before.
Yeah, now he's
Yeah.
in DBED, yeah.
He moved on to Dept. Now he's retired.
Oh,
but
retired,
he's
yeah.
still very
Okay.
curious about our industry development.
Yes. Well, he was there.
Yeah.
He had a lot to say, and I
Yeah.
caught some of it. But so, you know, tell us about that program so that people know why you did that program. And it looked like there were a couple of hundred people there anyway.
Yeah.
And the food was excellent. The whole discussion was excellent. It was really kind of very earthy experience to meet all the agriculturists. That's the word you used a minute ago, Kai. Agriculturists.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Why'd you do that?
Oh, we got this USDA grant to help connect farmers with more buyers because we repeatedly heard from them. They are ready to expand, but they certainly need more buyers' commitment before they invest the capital to expand. So we wrote a grant, we got money, and we organized this conference for the buyers to come to see the farmers and see their products on their booth, then try their products prepared by Chef Allan Wong, also KCC Culinary Art Program, chef instructor, and the students. So to give them the wholesome experience, so it will open them up to accept more products from these farmers. So we got responses instantly. So 3 farms, because they have more productions, they have, you know, sort of mature distribution, they got quite many buyers approaching them to be their new accounts. So it
so it actually
was
worked.
successful. It was successful.
You know, because
right
some
away,
of the
yeah.
buyers that I talked to was, I'm just watching.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just here. I'm a fly
Yeah.
on the wall. I'm not here to make any hard decisions.
Yeah, that's what I told them. So just please come. You don't have to make any commitment. We didn't want to give them any pressure.
Yeah.
Just come to experience it. But these several farms were approached by the buyers right away. So they needed to expand to satisfy the new demand they have now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I think
they are happy.
it worked, even if only one,
We
had come
have actually
forward, but-
several chain restaurants
Yeah.
who want to buy aquaponic produce.
Yeah.
So they do need to expand in order to meet that new demand. So very good news for
I
them.
think it was a great idea, and I'm trying to scratch my head and remember the last time I saw a government do that. Put the two ends of the the two ends of the marketplace together and try to make deals, right there, right then. That's pretty good.
Thank
And
you.
so I
Thank
hope you
you.
do that again, because I think you really got
remember
some
that.
traction, and I think that for some guys it was only an introduction,
Right.
but you can get them.
Yes.
Just keep on doing it, and they'll
Yes.
come around.
Yes. Definitely, I will remember your comment. Actually, my boss and I, we are thinking about doing it again.
Yeah.
Maybe include more farmers from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And then make it a whole day event.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. And
so
lots
people can
lots
come.
of Allan Wong.
Yeah.
He was
Yes.
a real star.
Yes.
in
Yeah.
the white outfit
We
on.
really appreciate his help. Yeah.
Yeah.
He sent like a dozen assistants to help. So we only paid them a little money. So I really appreciate
Well,
their team's
they
help.
were,
Yeah.
KCC was good too.
Yeah, KCC.
A lot of
set
the
dishes.
students there,
20 students
20
help.
students,
Yeah.
they're local,
And Chef Allan
they love what was
Fujiyama.
going on.
Yeah.
This is the future for them. They see it clearly.
Yeah, so I'm very glad that it turned out to be well. I was quite nervous. I worried that I won't have enough buyers showing up.
Well, that's the big test.
Yeah.
But I think you succeeded, and I think
Thank
the
you.
statement is made now, and the next time it'll be easier, and you keep on doing it, and you'll create an industry. All of a sudden, it's serious money.
Thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. So we do need more food production, not just the seafood production, because we can see the crisis down the road, maybe in 20 years. So China not just became a net seafood importer last year, they also became a green net importer. So with the population, in China, they're going to be
You think we could export these fish from Hawaii?
one day we have enough production.
We don't have now. Nobody's
We don't have
exporting
enough
now, right?
to actually. Blue Ocean Mariculture, they are exporting their kambachi to quite many countries.
That's different.
They are very big, so we are hoping we will have more bigger farmers like them. So we will have more seafood to be exported.
I'm writing an article about that. But what about you, Kai? What was your role, your experience at the Aquaponics conference last week?
Well, I was there to support Mari's Garden. I was there in front of a stand. Each of the farmers was given a table and a little area to display their produce. And some farmers brought live fish, some farmers brought produce, posters explaining their farm. And it was a great experience. I'm pretty sure Mari's Garden got some
New accounts.
They got some new accounts from that.
Yeah.
And it was a great opportunity.
Yeah. It was I don't have his name. I didn't have the names of all the people I talked to, but
Okay.
one guy there said, that Fred Lau is my mentor, he said. In fact, he said, Fred Lau is a mentor for everyone here.
Yeah, he's willing
thought
to
was
share
interesting.
the information, his learning experience with everybody. He
Yeah.
wants to help Hawaii to produce more food. He said his mission does not stop until everybody, can produce more food, to be involved. So he's willing to share this valuable information with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, this learning curve he went through. He's very generous. We
Yeah,
really
he is a nice
appreciate
man.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know that immediately. So you placed yourself well.
Yes.
It's good. This is a good career step. Let's take a short break, if you don't mind. This is ThinkTech Talks. We're talking about community matters because they do. because it does. And we're talking about the new science in aquaponics. And when we get back, we're really going to touch that science. I'm here with Liz Hsu of the Department of Agriculture and Kai Fox of Maury's Gardens.
Maury's Gardens.
There's
yes.
2 S's in Maury's Gardens.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Hong Jiang, host for ThinkTech Asia on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. We deal with issues in Asia that's important, including environment, culture, history, religion, you name it. So please tune in on Tuesdays. See you there.
Hi, I'm Attila Saras, host of Next Big Thing, the ThinkTech show, where we give people a place with great ideas, a chance to share them with the world. Be sure to tune in this Friday from 4 to 4:50 p.m., and I will see you.
Aloha, I'm Maria Kashem of ThinkTech Hawaii, and I want to tell you about our ThinkTech talk shows. If you didn't know it, ThinkTech streams video and audio for all of its shows live on the internet from 2 to 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon, and we replay them all night long on ustream.tv. Visit thinktechhawaii.com for our live stream and YouTube links. Raise your awareness on ThinkTech. I'm Maria Kashem, and I'll see you there.
Okay, we're back. We're live. I'm Jay Fidell here at ThinkTech. ThinkTech Talks, talking about community matters because it does, talking about the new science in aquaponics in Hawaii. We're talking with Liz Hsu of the Department of Agriculture and Kai Fox, who was with CTAR, and now a month ago he joined Maury's Gardens. So I guess what I would like to get from you in your own scientific words, Kai, is what's happening there in aquaponics? I mean, it was, I forget, there was a guy who came from the Virgin Islands. Do you remember him?
James Ricosi.
Yeah,
Oh, I haven't met
Ricosi. Nice man. And he spent a lot of time here. Benny Ron, of the Aquaculture coordinator.
The former, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's migrated somehow.
He's in CTAR now.
Yeah.
He's in CTAR, yes. Brought him over and really, brought him to the public, took him from island to island, and people who didn't know anything about aquaponics now began to understand there was such a thing. And a lot of subsistence farmers, who needed the food from aquaponics began to do it, and it became popular at the grassroots level. But since then, it's gone much further. It's not subsistence anymore. It's not stuff in your backyard where you bought the equipment at not Sears, that's a bad term, Home Depot.
Yeah, from Home Depot.
Home Depot, but it's much more sophisticated than
Yes,
that.
yeah.
And we are going now a little commercial is what we're doing. So how has the science changed, Kai?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think you can definitely credit Dr. Ricosi for pioneering commercial scale aquaponics. He started in the Virgin Islands at a research station there, and really was the first to mate aquaculture and hydroponics on a large scale like that. Almost all of the technology in aquaponics on the hydroponic side, on the plant side, was borrowed from the hydroponic industry, which is a very mature industry, a lot of technology involved with that. The problem when you join it with fish is basically you're dealing with
Animals.
particulates. Well, you're dealing with animals, exactly.
And they're more complex.
They're more complex.
And they have feelings and rights, too.
Well, they do. That's absolutely right. But the main challenge comes in the raising the animals, like you said, for sure, keeping them alive, keeping them healthy, feeding them. But also, you're using the effluent waste from the animals to irrigate your vegetables. Now, if you just do that in the ground, plant fruit trees in the ground and water these fruit trees with animal effluent waste, that's great. It works fine. It's actually relatively easy to do. It keeps the fish healthy, but you're adding more water. When you close the loop and you recirculate the system, which is really the gold standard for aquaponics, recirculating aquaponics, you run into a lot of challenges, especially on the plant side. There's several ways to grow plants hydroponically. One of the most common for leafy green vegetables is called nutrient film technique, or NFT. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. Basically using channels, gutters, or PVC pipes with holes drilled in them and plants planted in them. this is by far, it's been shown to be the most efficient labor-wise way to grow leafy vegetables. But it also presents a huge problem for aquaponics because there's a very thin sheet of water going across the channels and they clog easily. You know, you're using effluent waste, so there's a lot of stuff to clog small pipes and tubes with. And then balancing the whole system between the fish and the plants there are cookbook ways to do it, but optimizing the two systems is, I think, what you're getting at. This is kind of new, and then expanding it past Dr. Riccos, the scale of Dr. Riccos. I think what you'll see in the future are much larger, in fact, most likely vertically integrated plant factories, basically buildings, farms, is going to be the future, rather than this extensive outdoor sun-based agriculture.
Yeah, I'm thinking another side of that, though, and I'd like your reaction to it. Somebody mentioned this on that Saturday, as why doesn't Mari's Gardens come down to my restaurant, and I will give them 500 square feet inside, okay, and they can put in anything they want for me, and make it a closed loop, make it all work perfectly, and I just harvest all the time, and I use the harvest in my restaurant. So we don't even have to have transportation on this. We make this little modular affair, which is self-monitoring. It has all kinds of electronics to make sure that the parameters are continually met, and we go in and take a fish. We go in and take produce.
Right, absolutely. So you're exactly right. The automation is the next step. That's definitely the next step. Again, with hydroponics, it's much easier to do, but with aquaponics, what you're saying is under active research right now. There are people doing it. There are people doing it in Hawaii, and Mari's Garden. Well, you may see something like that. Let me just say that in the near future.
I mean, it sounds very challenging, you know, because we three anyway, we know how delicate the balance is, and you have to wake up every morning and go there and make sure it's still working. Anything could, you know, throw it off the side.
Yes.
But I think there are ways that you could assure that it would work, or at least monitor it remotely, and then be able to react if there's anything goes wrong. But ultimately, I see, I mean, and you guys, oh wow, what an exciting idea. You guys are in the perfect position to do this. I give you 500 feet, make me a universe, make me an ecologically perfect universe that generates food. I don't have to put anything in there, right? I have to put anything in there.
Just fish feed.
Feed
the
okay.
fish, yeah.
But I can find ways to put fish food in there, which are very green fish food and all that. And something you mentioned a minute ago, Kai, which I think is really exciting, and we had a guest here a month ago by the name of Kerry Kakazu. He's a biologist, I think, and he spent a lot of time at the medical school. Is doing in Kaka'ako, the new Kaka'ako, the one with all the promise for the new generation.
Yes.
KS gave him some space to do hydroponics, and he's building a farm in a room. So the restaurant, hypothetical restaurant we're talking about, could do both. The hydroponics and the aquaponics.
Yes.
I mean, do you see that as a likely connection, the two of those?
So I can speak to that. Actually, Dr. Clyde Tamaru has an ongoing research project with Horimasa Corporation, which is a Japanese company. The governor was out there in November at Mari's Garden. The research facility is actually on site at Mari's Garden. And we're already doing exactly that. We have a research module with several of them recirculating LED-based grow light, restaurant size, controlled environment aquaponic systems. Those are already functioning.
So once you get this down.
They told me they made that for Dubai princess because it's going to cost $20,000 a unit. I'm teasing, but yeah, that's high in a unit. But they can do cheaper, more affordable units using LED light indoor.
I'm always looking for things that Hawaii can
Yeah.
export. So I asked you, can it export the tilapia? Not yet. But maybe you can export the intellectual property.
Yes.
So when everybody says that Fred Lau is a mentor, maybe Fred ought to get some patents on what you're doing.
Well, I can assure you, this collaboration with UH and the company is they are working on that. So it's going
exciting.
forward.
I
It's
hope
happening.
you keep us in the loop. I'd like to, as much as I can, I'd like to track on what that is, because if we can develop the system here, the little room, maybe it's smaller than 500 feet, maybe it's 100 feet, and maybe it's all encased and it has instructions, and you set it up and it goes.
So what I would say is that the challenge to build it and make it work is definitely doable. The question is, what do people want to grow in the system? Because a lot of times you have to design the system for specific plants or fish. So I think in the future, what you're saying, you would come to the company with a list of products and volume, numbers, that kind of stuff that you want, and it could be custom built for that. Because again, you have to. Every plant is different. Every fish is different. So one system is not going to fit all.
So they call up, or how about a website that says, "Oh, you want this kind of lettuce?
How clever that
Click
is.
here." And and we will ship out kit number SJ67 for you. You
That's
want
a very
another
smart
kind?
idea.
Well, actually, on that, the technology associated with LED grow lights and these new light technologies are actually some of the most exciting stuff, because you can, LED technology has made huge jumps in the past even 5 years, and with intensity and light spectrum. White light looks like it's probably the best light to grow all vegetables, but it's all about intensity. But also, there's a lot of this
Red light and green light, right?
blue light.
Blue light.
Yeah.
Sorry, blue light.
Right.
Not green, but blue.
Right. So, I mean, these lights have, so research, a lot of research is coming out of University of Arizona Controlled Environment Center there, but a lot of people are doing it now because these LED lights are becoming affordable. And they're becoming mass-produced. A lot of different companies building them. So really, the lights are right now. That's the hot area of research.
Yeah, and there's ways that you can fake out the plants too.
Right. That's right.
You can tell the people how you fake out the plants. I love to fool plants, and that's not in a nasty way or anything. They don't. Nobody's feelings are hurt about. How do you fake out
They
a
grow
plant?
very well. There's a aquaponic farm in mainland in a brewery, and they are doing indoor aquaponics using LED lighting. The plants grow very well. They're happy.
There's one in Japan that actually uses natural. In Singapore, sorry. Singapore has with natural lights, and they built the building so the lights could go in the window, so they don't have to pay anything for electricity. But they can't fake them out the same way. Tell them how you fake them out.
Well, essentially, by changing the intensity and the wave spectra, you can
And you turn them off at night.
you can
The
turn them
plants
off.
don't need them 24/7.
Right. Well, it depends how you want to trick them. It depends what you want to do with them. If you want to make them higher in antioxidants, you want to make them sweeter, you want to make them more sour, more spicy.
Wow.
You can do all of these things with lights.
The lights generate the taste.
Yeah, you're changing the physiology of the plant by changing the spectrum and intensity of the light that it
Wow,
absorbs.
that's very interesting.
How do you live with yourself knowing this?
Quite well. I eat a lot of vegetables.
And you make a lot of vegetables. Let's take a short break. I'm getting a headache. This is ThinkTech Talks. Community matters because it does. We're talking about the new science in aquaponics with Liz Hsu, Department of Agriculture, and Kai Fox, now of Mary's Gardens. We'll be right back. I'm Jay Fidell. That's Sharon Moriwaki of the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum. And every Wednesday we have Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy. We've been doing it for some time now, and we have some fantastic guests on there, unbelievable guests who give us insight into what is going on in a very complex, sometimes very confusing, sometimes very disappointing area of progress in the state. So we love doing this. We love meeting them. We love talking to them. We love having their ideas out on the table. So maybe, just maybe, we can all make some sense of what's going on. Sharon, what do you think?
I think that's absolutely correct. We enjoy ourselves meeting with all these people and hearing about the energy and the state of clean energy, and hopefully we advance clean energy for the state. So it's terrific. Join us. Come
Okay,
join
it's
us.
every Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday is Energy Day. Every
Energy
Wednesday,
Wednesday.
4 to 5 p.m. Hawaii, the state of clean energy, here on ThinkTech Hawaii.
Energy
We'll see you
Wednesday.
there. We're back. We're live. We're ThinkTech Talks on a given Monday. Talking about community matters, because it does. Talking about the new science in aquaponics. Talking with Liz Hsu of the Department of Agriculture and Kai Fox of Murray's Gardens. And so this is the part where we try to examine the obstacles to realizing our dream, and we try to figure out how we're going to overcome those obstacles. So a couple of the obstacles we referred to before was, you referred to, Liz, is we got to sell the buyers, we got to sell the restaurants, we got to make this part of Hawaii's diet. And Hawaii has a lot of restaurants, so a lot of people eat
yeah.
a lot of meals at a lot of restaurants,
Yes.
big and small,
Yes.
tourist and non-tourist. But how do we get them all to serve tilapia like Allan makes it? That's one question. The other question is, how do we get people to buy that fish at those restaurants? And for that matter, in the market, and take it home and cook it however they want. How are we going to deal with those challenges?
It's pretty big. We have some farmers with established distribution channels, but it's very small scale. So we need more acceptance from the buyers to agree to buy from them. Then once they have the commitment, they will be willing or feeling comfortable to expand. So finding investors is not a problem actually. We were approached by a mainland investor, large company. They want to invest in Hawaii's aquaculture and aquaponics business, and we distributed the information. So from my point of view, if a farmer is ready and he can prepare a pretty decent business plan, he can get, with the right experience, he can get investors. Because the market for seafood is huge, also for fresh, organic veggie. There's no question about the market demand. We just need to produce. So we need to gain market acceptance. While the obstacle is some companies, they don't accept fish waste being the fertilizer to the vegetables because they don't feel it's clean enough. So Kai Fox did a research on that, and then he can share with us the result.
So, okay, I'm a skeptical buyer of produce, and I say to you, woo, put it on my table, put some Caesar salad dressing on it, and eat it. That's got fish waste on it. What do you say?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So this is a food safety issue, and this is one of the major stumbling blocks for aquaponics. We've been working on for a long time now. When I was at CTAR as well. You probably usually eat your lettuce from Safeway, and most likely it comes from a farm in either California or Arizona from the Colorado River Basin, and those lettuce are irrigated overhead by Colorado River water or ditch water resulting from the Colorado River. There's tilapia living in the Colorado River.
So it's the same.
All the same, yeah. John Paul, somebody in CTAR, what's his name? John Paul
Bingham?
He'd done some work on some antigens kinds of things, like poisonous snails and the like, that can actually be used for good things. And one of the things he's worked on, as I recall, is the dreaded rat lungworm, which was in the news, back about 3 years ago, I think, maybe 4. It was really an awful story about how people contracted this by doing organic farming without cleaning the lettuce and all that. And then, a couple of them went into comas. I had lunch today, so I don't want to talk about exactly how this disease, the rat lungworm, progresses into your brain and your eyeballs. I want to talk about
a lot
that.
of the farms, they cover their lettuces, yeah.
So
Right.
how do I know that
Yeah.
I don't have stuff like that on the lettuce?
Right. Yeah. And good question. And I was somewhat joking about the Colorado River water, although it does contain over 100 species of fish. But that's not really the point. The point is using good agricultural practices. We're talking about ranch audits. We're talking about on-farm audits that FarmGate, the producer, is using the best agricultural practices that they know how to make sure that the food that they sell is of high quality. And basically, aquaponic farms are no different from any other farms. And if they follow good agricultural practices, the food is just as safe as any other kinds of farming.
Do you have to wash it off? Do you wash it off before you present it?
Absolutely, yeah. All the
So-
produce is rinsed with.
So I'd never find even a microscopic piece of fish waste on my lettuce.
Well, you shouldn't. No, it's washed.
Because it's been washed.
It's been washed. That's right.
But the fish waste is good nutrient for it to grow.
That's right. And actually, the way that these vegetables are grown in aquaponics is sub-irrigation. The aquaponic water actually never touches the edible portion of the.
Oh, it's just in the roots.
And again, so this is the comparison with the Colorado River. A lot of these farmers are allowed to spray overhead actually onto the raw edible portion in these large mega farms on the mainland. But yeah, aquaponic producers do not do that. It's all sub-irrigation.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing like in hydroponics, isn't it?
That's right.
It's all the roots hanging by themselves, and then this fine mist comes down. And by the way, I saw some of the produce that Kerry Kakazu was creating, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's like a picture, and it's just beautiful. There isn't no bug holes on it or anything like that. It's like the perfect plant, every one of them. I'd put my Caesar salad dressing on that any day.
Yeah, so our future is to have it in the greenhouse. So they're building one. They already have two, so they will build another one.
Well, the aquaponics sounds like it could be a part of the aquaponics. Wait, the hydroponics sounds like it could be part of the aquaponics. No, the techniques you learn in hydroponics are appropriate to build a better aquaponics. No?
Well, exactly. Like I was saying before, the technology for the hydroponic component of aquaponics is borrowed from hydroponics because they really have it dialed in. And Mari's Gardens actually grows some hydroponic produce as well. We do both. And the most exciting stuff that Fred Lau is doing right now is taking existing hydroponic stuff and marrying it with high-tech recirculating, intensive fish farming in ways that no one else is doing this yet.
They're so smart.
I would say though, make one distinction between hydroponics and aquaponics. Right now, as it stands, you cannot certify hydroponics as organic. There are no, because it's all synthetic chemicals. You can certify aquaponics as organic.
Okay. And everybody likes organic
Yes.
because it's healthier. Yeah. Well, hopefully that's the future, and we can actually produce it and get public acceptance and make it part of everybody's meal,
Yes.
and then sell it offshore.
Yes.
And I really think that Hawaii needs to sell things like it used to other places. I mean, we need that. As the first rule of diversification is sell to them before they sell to you.
Correct. We look forward to that day.
Okay, so we're going to take one last break, and then we're going to come back, and I would like to discuss future programs that you may have in mind, Department of Agriculture, and then I'd like to talk about a program that we are contemplating, that is ThinkTech and its friends in the business community are contemplating for April 23rd for a discussion of the new science and agriculture in general, okay? So we'll take one short break, come back and talk about
All right. Thank you.
that. Okay, this is ThinkTech Talks, Community Matters, the new science in aquaponics with Liz Hsu and Kai Fox. We'll be right back after this break. Castle and Cook, Hawaii. Investing in Hawaii, creating communities, and providing for the needs of our state. Collateral Analytics, empowering the real estate industry to make better informed property investment decisions. The Foreign Trade Zone, bringing the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone programs to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs. Galen Ho, a senior executive of BAE Systems, a global defense, security, and aerospace company. Hawaiian Electric Company and its affiliates Maui Electric and Hawaii Electric Light Company on Hawaii Island. The Hawaii Energy Policy Forum, incorporating diverse perspectives to design a flexible and forward-looking energy strategy. Hawaii Energy, the state's energy and efficiency program created to help Hawaii's residents and businesses adopt a clean energy lifestyle. Hawaii Gas, helping Hawaii achieve its transition to clean energy and a better energy future. Hawaii Pacific Health, bringing technology and teamwork together to transform healthcare in Hawaii. The High Tech Development Corporation, attached to Dept, is the state's leading technology agency. The Scheidler Family Foundation, supporting educational, cultural, and charitable organizations, including ThinkTech. Okay, we're back. We're live. We're ThinkTech Talks, talking about community matters, the new science in aquaponics with Liz Hsu and Kai Fox. And we've really covered a lot of good ground, good points. I really appreciate you guys coming down. So we have been contemplating a program about the new science in agriculture, because we like to see diversified agriculture all around. This is obviously part of that. And you guys have wrapped the whole thing into, you know, the bailiwick of agriculture. And I want to tell you that on April 23rd, we're contemplating this program. And I wanted to get your advice right here in public on what we should cover in this program. And I want to coordinate this program with anything you have in mind to make sure that we're working on the same frequency. So, what programs do you contemplate, Liz?
Currently, we have Aquaponics Acre project with Mars Gardens. It's going to start soon. So tell us, what's the goal of that project?
Okay, well, this is a collaborative partnership with the Department of Ag and Mari's Garden. The idea is to design a acre footprint aquaponic system, greenhouse, and also some raised bed outdoor with large fish tanks, to high volume output system that can be replicated anywhere. Basically, that's the purpose, is to create a prototype that can be used by others.
Wow, and this is a prototype that you will ultimately perfect and sell. Did I get that right?
Share.
Sell.
We will share the data.
Okay, and you share the data too.
This
Okay.
is DOA funded project together with the Maris Gardens. You know Fred Law is generous. So we are going to share the research result with anybody from Hawaii who is interested in doing aquaponics.
Oh wow, make it a Hawaii industry, you know.
Yes.
Make it robust.
Yes.
Make everybody interested. And like those guys at the program you had last week, they were all so interesting and robust and so committed and passionate about doing it. I mean, wow, I was really impressed. Some of them really learned it, you know, from the ground up.
Yes.
Some of them went to graduate degrees, but they all came together.
Yes.
Yeah, that was something. Okay, what else are you doing?
I will do the second stage of my aquaponics aqua marketing project for farmers. I will interview buyers to find out their buying preferences, criteria, and categorize the data and share with the farmers, so they can better position themselves when they produce, planning for more production, and share with the newcomers, so they do it right from the beginning.
You know what impresses me about the department's efforts in this area is that you're not out there trying to seek tax credits. You're out there just teaching people. It's an educational process rather than an
Yes.
incentive process.
Yes.
I mean, not to say that incentives wouldn't help,
It
but
would help,
incentives
yeah.
are politically difficult.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
Look what happened to Act 221. You know,
Yes,
that
I
was
heard
an
of that,
incentive that went
yes.
off the side.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll have greater effect by simply repeating the message, getting the word out. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to tell you about our program, and then you can give me some suggestions, because
Okay.
we haven't really settled on
Okay.
it. This is supposed to be the new science of agriculture, and it operates on the assumption there is a new science in agriculture, and that science would be very important for Hawaii, because
Yes.
we need diversified agriculture for
Yes.
so many reasons, which we don't have to argue those.
Yes.
If they don't know yet, sorry, we can't help. So, you know, the question is, who should we have? What subjects should we cover, do you think, to educate, say, the business community, because that's our constituency, that this is an important thing. Now, here's what I was thinking, but I'd like your, first we
Okay.
have to have a farmer,
Yes.
maybe a couple of farmers, maybe
Yeah.
farmers in all three of those areas.
Yes.
You know, agriculture, aquaculture, and aquaponics. Maybe it's the same thing, maybe not, so we'll have to refine that. Secondly, somebody from the Department of Agriculture, you know, who oversees this and, you know, sort of acts like a blanket, like and does leadership,
Right. Right.
holds them together, in an industry.
Right.
I think it'd be good to have somebody from the university, or possibly somebody who just came from the university.
Yeah, I think Kai will be very good. Excellent.
I think we need to have a banker. You
Yes.
know? I mean,
yes.
I know that comes from left
yes,
field,
money,
but
yes.
because you need money to build a Mary's Gardens. You need money to build
Yes.
agriculture. You
Yes,
have to,
yes.
You have to tie the land down.
Yes.
And I think what is the Important Lands Initiative?
I haven't heard of that
There's a
one.
statute that
Okay.
says you can designate land as important lands for agriculture.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, good to know, but nothing's happened. Like nothing has happened. We're still waiting on that
Yeah,
one.
we do need more ag land because Oahu ag land is becoming so limited. Yeah, so some new
And
farmers
once it
may
gets
have
paved
yeah,
over, that's the end of that.
Yeah, have a hard
know.
time to locate land to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't need a lot of land on some of
Yeah,
the
we
new
don't
science,
need to,
right?
but we have a lot more people who want to come into this industry. So that's exciting. So we would like to really have more land available for them.
What about education?
Education, someone
Do
from
we need more
education.
education to educate
Oh yes.
people, to give them a career? I mean,
Oh yes, we are doing that already.
I'll bet you when you went into this at the beginning, they said, "Are you kidding, Kai? You're gonna get your fingernails dirty. Why don't you, study nuclear physics or something? You have to do this, But in reality, this is a good life. You can send your kids to college with this. You can have good feelings about it. You can feel that you have, helped the community, and it's a good life.
You don't have to be stuck with a computer all day, 8 hours. You can actually
You can relate
catch
to
the fish.
nature
Yes.
and find that whole engagement is a
Yeah.
fabulous engagement.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're out of time already. Sorry. But
right.
let me ask you guys to make closing statements, if you will, about what you would like them to know about, what you would like them to think about going forward. Okay, this will have a shelf life of a while, so give them the long view. All
Okay.
right? Let's have Kai go first, and then
Yes,
you can
okay.
go.
Long view of aquaponics. I'm sorry.
Long view of the science of aquaponics and agriculture in general, and how it relates to the future of Hawaii.
Well, I think certainly agriculture and science have always been married, and they will always be that way in the future. Farmers are scientists. They're constantly experimenting, constantly trying new things. This kind of integrated farming is the future, I believe. We no longer have any place for mega farms or wasteful practices in agriculture. Water conservation has to be number one. Hopefully we can use marginal farmlands in the future. So I think technologies that promote environmental stewardship, and I know sustainability is kind of a really overused buzzword, but that and water conservation and energy conservation to me are the most important.
And is it fair to say that the more science we have, the more efficient we are, the better we can do?
Absolutely.
So we need to learn everything we can possibly learn about the science.
Absolutely. Well, all of those categories I just said, energy, water, environmental stewardship, that's soil conservation, that's bioremediation, taking pesticides, heavy metals out of the soil that we already put in there. All of those things are heavy science fields, so they all have to be brought together.
What an exciting time, actually. So you did pick a wonderful career, actually.
Yes.
At
Lucky.
all levels, yeah. Okay, now you, Liz, leave the people with words they can remember. She spoke at that conference. She was totally poetic. I said, my goodness, she's a poet in her heart. So give them
thank you.
poetry, okay?
Thank you. So actually, I was at your downtown forum last Thursday. So I heard Representative Sylvia Luke mention about the contribution from construction to our state tax revenue in the future. Seems like besides tourism, we are counting on construction. So I would like to let everybody know that agriculture can be a great contributor to our state economy because the technologies enable us to do so. And I would like everybody to Google seafood shortage, seafood crisis, and China becoming food import, net food import, and our domestic seafood production only $1 billion now compared to $11 billion we spent on foreign imports. So I would like everyone to research on it, and you will learn a lot about the potential of doing aquaculture in Hawaii and the US, and we can better position ourselves to handle the challenge we are going to face, which is 10, 20 years down the road, if we don't develop more aquaculture, agriculture, we will have food crisis.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liz Shu, Department of Agriculture, and Kai Fox, Murray's Gardens. It's been great to have you here
Thank you.
discussing the new science in aquaponics, but also the new science in agriculture in general. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Aloha.
So, yeah.